your microphone. You are on.
Hello, 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 Crafty Friends. We're just about to get started. Need to turn the TV volume off. There we go. Okay. We are just about to get going. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Alice. Hello, Betty. Welcome, welcome, friends. Brenda, I love the lettuce dog. Everybody else will have to wonder what that means, but I totally love the lettuce dog. I showed it to Bryce last night. He giggled. She sent me a food art thing with a lettuce dog. It's so cute. It's so cute. Guess what, guys? I'll tell you this before everybody else gets on. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. Remember when I told you I was going to call up my hairdresser and try to bribe her? It worked. She's coming to cut my hair tomorrow. I'm so excited. I can't stand myself. This is the last time you're going to see this kind of shag. It's going away. A whole bunch of it. Yay! Well, I was way overdue. Hello, Andrea. I was way overdue for a haircut when the pandemic started. Hello, Kathy. Welcome, welcome from Australia. Yes, I was way overdue for a haircut when the pandemic started, and now I am just beyond hope with this. So, good for us. Okay, there we are. We are up and going. Let's go ahead and take a look at... Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you promise a really big tip. I'm talking gargantuan. But she's coming to my house and cutting it outside, so what can I say? That is a good thing. A very good thing. So let's take a look in our kit. This is really a fun one. We're going to have fun today, guys. We always have fun, though, don't we? We always have fun. That's because you guys are wonderful. And I love you so very much for being there for me, my crafty friends. Okay. We have in our kits, we have our beautiful...
Hold down. You've got to keep your stuff down. I don't have
okay.
a place to move it, so you'll have to keep down.
All right. She's telling me I have to keep my card stock low this time. I will try.
I'll just have to
I will
remind
try.
you.
She's over here waving down, down, down. Like a Teddy command.
Sorry.
Down.
Hey, I'm trying to be quiet and not invade your talking time.
Yeah, she's never quiet. Okay, so we have this cardstock. This is our Timeless Christmas. It's beautiful with the clocks. I love this one. I knew the second I saw it, this was going to be one I had to work up. How short for my hair? Hello, Glenda. Nice to see you, friend. Just about, just below my shoulders. Just take all this shag off. So it's going to be back up where it's supposed to be. And this beautiful border. I mean, they just don't get prettier than that for the unfoiled ones. That's just gorgeous. And then this kit also contains the foiled clock piece. This part down here is foiled. And this part up here is just glorious. So there's our cardstock. We are going to make 3 5x7s and our nice heavy 300 GSM cardstock. And we are going to make 1 European A6. So we've got our envelopes. I can set those aside for now. And then for our extra supplies, there's not a whole lot extra today. We're basically just working with the kit, although I did do something a little tricky. I'll show you. We got our glitter packet. Thank you, Margie, for making all those glitter packets. And we got some dazzles. And we got some foam squares, and we have some of our really wonderful red, blue 1/4-inch ribbon. If you missed this when we had it on the website and it sold out, it's back. Brittany just loaded 2 boxes of ribbon from this company back up on the website. Almost everything was sold out again, and now it is ready to go again. These are the final days of this ribbon sale. I've left them out there way longer than I was going to because it's been so very popular and it keeps selling out, and I don't want you guys to miss it. So I left that sale up way longer than I was going to. These are the final days. If you want that ribbon, grab it now. It's glorious. Okay, I think we should get going here. How about we just start with, let's start with the basic. I love this one. This is beautiful. Let's do this one first. It's pretty straightforward. It's wonderful. Let's just start there. Okay, so we're going to want a 5x7 card blank. Emma and I are watching. Hello, Emma. I get to see you this way, Crafty Friend. I've been missing you, Emma. I will be so glad when we can get together again, my little friend. I think of you, though. That's how you know I'm thinking of you when I send you cartoons and things. So, or pictures are colored. Emma is Margie's granddaughter, and she is currently staying with great-grandma this week, who is Glinda. And so Emma is tuned in. Maybe you guys can say hi to Emma, if you will, and tell her where you're from, so she can, maybe Grandma can help her find it on a map, and then she can look and see where everybody's from. Because you guys are all over the place. You know where I'm from, Emma. I'm just a little ways from you. But maybe some of our friends will tell you where they're from. There we go. Betty's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Grandma can look these up with you later and show you where these places are. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Most of the way across the country, about halfway across the country. Let's see what else. Oh, there's Brenda. Brenda's from Phoenix, Arizona. And Andrea is from Raceland, Kentucky. See, we're all over the country. And we get together to do our craft classes. Isn't that cool, Emma? I think it's really neat that we get to do that. And let's see. I know that our friend Kathy is from the country of Australia. What part of Australia are you in, Kathy? Okay, I'm going to start here by covering my card. Jordan, if you're out there, say hi, baby, and tell Emma where you're from. Jordan's my daughter. She lives in Connecticut. And how can I see her? I can see your comments when Great-Grandma Glenda types. I can see her comments, and then I know you're out there. You can see me, but I can't see you. But I can see and know that you're out there. Okay. I want to do something before I go on here that I see. Let's see, how am I going to do that? No, we'll do it after. Never mind. Okay. Oh, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, on the East Coast. That's wonderful. So maybe Grandma can work with you and you guys can look up some maps. There we go. There's Betty McSorley. Hello, friend Betty. Welcome, welcome. What'd you think of that box of ribbon with all the things off the spools? I offered to do that. Then I realized, hello, Alice. Thank you, Alice. Alice is from Florida. I offered to do that, take all that ribbon off the spools, thinking that some of the ribbon that I had used when I was done with with the spools just kind of fell apart. So I thought, oh, this would be easy to take them off the spools and make it more cost effective to ship it. What I did not know is that they were not all on the same kinds of spools, and that some of them were glued together and some of them had cardboard in there. And Margie and I had quite a time getting all that ribbon off the spools. But you were worth the effort, Betty. We did it for you.
You're just going to give her a hard time about that, aren't you?
Yes. I give everybody a hard time about everything. Emma wanted to know how it was I could see her.
Aww.
She could see me, but she wanted to know how I could see her. You want to give Emma a shout out?
Hey, Emma. How are you?
Can you hear Nana, Emma? Okay.
Figured it was just...
There we go. So we've covered our card. I put down 3 strips of tape. I lined up my cardstock. I flipped it over and I cut around the back because that is a good, fast, easy way to cover our card. Next up, we're going to we are going to, oh, I punched out the wrong one. This is actually the one that I want right here. I'm actually going to have to take them all out because this is, no, it's not. I'm looking at the wrong one. This one is the one that we're doing. I'm sorry. I'm confused here. Okay, and I want this little topper here. I was fine, and then I got myself confused because that happens. Okay, we'll put some foam squares on here. And we're pretty much just going to center this topper. You're welcome, Betty. I was just teasing you because it was. Hopefully it all came in good shape. I mean, we tried to be really careful to wrap it nicely so that they would stay nice for you. I'm sure it will, as long as they're in just kind of those little bundles. Okay, it doesn't take an awful lot of foam squares on one of these bigger pieces, guys. It's this nice heavy cardstock, so just enough to kind of hold it up in all the areas. I'll peel off our foam squares here.
Hey guys, I just want you to know that if you are having trouble with a little bit of words going out or that it stops for a little bit, it's not your computer. We're having a buffering issue on this side, but there's nothing we can do to fix it, so sorry.
Could you guys all hear what Margie was saying there? Hi Diane. Welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you're tuned in and signed on for the live stream, Diana. Maybe everybody can give Diana a shout. Diane. That's not a name. There we go. Welcome. We love new Crafty Friends. Okay. I'm going to pretty much just center this one left to right and top to bottom, guys. This is a very simple card design, but it's beautiful on this paper, isn't it? We're going to pop on our greeting, which we'll put up on some more foam squares. Yes, they could hear you, Margie, because Andrea said thank you. Technology, you've got to love it. It's what allows us to come together, so I'm grateful for technology, but it's an ongoing challenge when you're a little business and you don't have, the vast resources of the big guys. We just make do, don't we? And that's okay. Okay, I'm going to put my festive wishes up here. I'm going to cover just the corner of that holly and then go off the edge just a little bit. So I'm going to let my nice border here, that sculpt show. I'm covering just that little corner of holly, and then I've got my festive wishes on. I'm going to add some dazzles to the side. So we're using these little jewel dazzles. I believe we still have a few of these kits left, don't we, Brittany?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have a few of these kits left, so if you decide you like this and want to get this kit, I believe there's just a few of them left. By the way, Shining Bright, the tree kit, is showing sold out in past videos, but I noticed that there were a few there. Is that something we could make a few more of?
Probably.
Okay.
My guess is I would have been limited by your inner and outer cards, but now that I have those back.
Okay. But Brittany said she'll try and get some more of the Shining Bright if you wanted that one and we're unable to get it. Hi, Annette. Welcome, welcome. Annette, Emma's with us, who is Margie's granddaughter. She's online with her, what do we call, what
Grandma.
is she? Grandma. She's online with her grandma. She's staying with her grandma this week, and we're telling Emma where we're from so she and Grandma can look later on a map and see where all their new friends are from. So maybe you can tell Emma where you're from, Annette. Okay, so I've got my 3 dots on the bottom, 3 dots on the top. I think I'm actually going to move these over just a little bit though, because they didn't really match what I did on the top. So these little jewel dazzles are so friendly to work with. Okay, and I see, oh no, it's not when I'm holding it up, never mind. Okay, we've got all that. We need to do a little glittering here. So I'm gonna grab my Quickly glue pen. Wait, this one's almost out. Let me see if I have another one here. I should have one in this holder, but I think Margie's grabbing me one too. Maybe. Here's one. I got a second. Okay. I always want to have a backup for your Quickie glue pen, guys, because it's fabulous. And okay, one thing I did on here, you may not be able to see on camera, but I think it really adds something, is I traced these outside lines on my cardstock. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to get my little ruler. You know I hardly ever use a ruler, but I'm going to use one this time to keep my pen straight. Not because I'm going to measure, but because I'm going to keep my pen straight.
Isn't that what rulers are for?
Yeah, I think so. Straight line. Yeah.
That's what I use it for.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. I'm going to draw a little line here. Just on either side, on top of the white lines, guys, if you're wanting to follow along and do that. Just to add a little bit of extra sparkle in that area. Why? Because we can. I'm going to use my little pot of glue instead of using up this little packet, then I can reallocate this packet to one of you. Margie, I lost my glue paper, or my glitter paper. It's in my stack somewhere. Margie's really good about keeping some scrap paper here for me when I am glittering, and I'm forever losing it. She usually has a nearby stack, which I have while I've been working out here on the
It's gone
Crafty
now.
Friends.
You're going to have to go pull some more.
I had absconded with her supply because I do these things. Okay, just in terms of other glitter on here, I didn't do a whole lot, but maybe you can see it on my card. All I have done is outline these white flowers. I love just little touches of glitter. So I'm going to outline all the white flowers. I'm not going to fill them in. I'm just going to draw a little line around the white flowers. I'm going to stop after each general area and put my glitter on because, well, the Quickie glue pen works really well on this adorable scoreable cardstock. It will go on there just fine. Because of the coating on the paper, it can pool up a little bit there. So I like to put it on while it's still in a line before it pools up. So I stop every once in a while and just pour my glitter on so it stays in a line. I hope that makes sense. Because I don't want little lakes of glitter, I just want little lines of glitter. So, add a little glitter there. I'm going to come in from this side and do these 3 flowers. It seems like we have kind of a baker here all the way across the United States. I was watching a forecast last night and he said everybody was going to be hot. It is hot, hot, hot here in the Pacific Northwest today. And I know those of you who are in Texas and Phoenix and other places can tell us what hot really is. To us, hot is everything over 80. Isn't that true? Yep. All 3 ladies at the table are shaking their heads. Yes, that's hot to us. But
It's
I know
humidity.
in Phoenix and Texas and sometimes in Florida, you guys get hot. We have nothing to complain about by comparison. That doesn't mean we're not going to complain, just that we don't have a basis for such complaints. Oh, it's 80 in Phoenix? Good.
No, is in winter.
Oh,
it's
in winter. Okay. I was going to say, how's that possible? No. Oh, true for New York, too. Okay.
Betty says she puts glitter on the feather.
Oh, you put glitter on the feather? Well, let's do it. That actually sounds pretty fun. Let's do that. I like that idea. The feather, I think we can glitter a little bit following some of the veins in the feather. That's a great idea. Let's do it. I got glitter paper back here. Good ideas all around. See? That's why I love working with you guys. You guys have such good ideas. There we go. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, let it dry for a minute. We'll brush it off and see our final creation momentarily. I will pick up my copy paper here and we'll move on to our next project. Oh, good. Look at you guys go. There we go. All right. Thank you for sharing your city so Emma can find them later. I think she might like looking at a map and figuring out where all of her new friends live.
She does.
Yeah.
She likes looking at maps.
I always like doing that. That's one reason I like to do that with kids, is because I loved to do that when I was a kid, to figure out where things are in relation to one another. Okay, this one's done. Next, let's do this one I was getting confused with. Let's do this one. And my little tricky for this one is that I substituted the inside. So we're going to take this one, we're going to pop this inside image out. And I want to put wishing you Christmas love. So I'm going to set this one aside for another card, and we're going to pop the Christmas out here and put it inside this big frame because I thought it needed lots of attention because it's beautiful.
Crafty Gal is popping in to say hello.
Hello, Deborah.
And she gets to go on a retreat next week.
Ooh, a crafting retreat. Ooh, yay.
I don't know what.
Do my cards at a retreat next week. Yay, fun. Okay. This one is much the same as what we just completed, but we need the other piece of our cardstock. which I will find. Here it is. Okay, let's cover another 5x7. This is a simple kit, but so pretty. Sometimes, you gotta just kind of let the card dictate, let the topper set dictate how it wants to be treated. And sometimes the very best way is just to let the card stand, let it do its own thing. Hello, Avis. Welcome, welcome. How are they handling the Crafty Retreat, Deborah, with COVID? Are you guys staying at a hotel and then socially distancing during your crafting time? How are they doing that?
I don't know if it's a crafting retreat. It just says a retreat.
Yeah, I think she said it is.
Oh.
She said, because I asked about, is it a Crafty Retreat? And she said, yes, 4 days.
Ah.
So I'm
That's
just curious how they're going to do that.
Versus mine.
Excuse me?
It gets there faster than it gets over here.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm putting down my 3 rows of tape as I often do. I'm going to match my cardstock, being careful that I cover this back cover. Everything else can be trimmed if it's not straight, but you always want to make sure that the fold side gets covered, or you have to do more creative things to cover that up. Not that we can't, but okay, I'm going to flip this over, trim around the outside, because that's how I like to cover my cards. There we go. We have a nicely covered card in seconds. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this frame apart in 3 pieces. Which I often do when we have separate pieces. Of course, you know this, but I'll say it anyway. Of course, we could make a shaker out of this if we wanted to. If it were our desire to do so, we could put those 2 pieces down flat, put our acetate in here and build our package. But we're not making a shaker out of this one today. I'm going to put my frame in first because it helps me from a spacing perspective. So I'm going to get my foam squares, and I will run more foam squares on a smaller piece like this. I'll put them like a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch apart instead of my 1 inch and 1/4, because this piece is lighter and more easily bent. It's still on the 300 GSM cardstock, but the piece is narrower. Excellent, Alice. Yep. Anytime you see a 2-piece frame, you are right, my friend. Anytime you see a 2-piece frame, it could be a shaker if you wanted it to be. I have to admit, I always look at it too, and I think, am I overplaying this one technique? Perhaps, but I just love them. So what do you do about that?
I think whoever gets it doesn't realize that there were probably another 10 cards that were shaker cards. So for them, it's fun. It's cool.
That's true. That's true. We have more foam tape that will be arriving if anybody's waiting for that. The shaker tape is due here. I think it's due tomorrow, unless it gets held up at customs, which happens. But we should have more shaker tape coming. I've got 60 more packages. So 360 rolls of shaker tape winging its way to us.
Joy.
Huh?
Joy.
Oh, Brittany says, oh, joy, joy. Well, we can just keep some of it up here because we're going to make kits out of a lot of it, I'm sure. Brittany always thinks when she hears me say things like, I ordered 60 of those. Where am I going to put that in our limited space in the warehouse? And the answer is...
That's a great question.
That's a great question. I'm glad I've got you to figure it out. It's just my idea to order all this stuff. It's fun. Yeah. Oh, unicorns and rainbows. Emma would like that. Emma's favorite is unicorns. Did you guys notice that in our shaker components in the store, I think I have some little pigs, and I can't remember what the other one was that I bought some really, huh?
Penguins?
Penguins? It might be penguins.
Then we should grab some of those.
Yeah, Margie says we should have those. How come we? What are you doing holding back? Okay, I'm gonna put my topper down, just kind of centered, top and bottom, left and right. I'm gonna take my glue bottle. Where did my glue bottle go? Oh, there it is. I usually have it sitting right here. I take my glue bottle. Oh, it's working now. And I'm going to run my glue bottle around the inside of this frame. Whoop! Now I managed to get glue on my upper piece anyway, but not to worry, because if I'm careful, I can just wipe that off, and then I can dry that off. No harm, no foul. Okay, I'm gonna pop my ring in there, right inside, and center that nicely. A little more centering to do on these kind of Victorian frames than what we have on some of the others. We'll put, this is so pretty, wishing you a Christmas where love is shared and memories are made. Isn't that glorious? I love that. I just love it. You know what we should do? It's got that beautiful feather, and we've got some white flowers on this one too. I wonder if we should glitter this before we put it down. Let's do that, huh?
Might be easier than that.
It probably would be easier than glittering it afterwards. We're going to glue that, or glitter that feather. I was telling these guys before you all came on that I finally get to get my hair cut tomorrow. So when you see, for those of you who are tuning in on Saturday, I'm going to look very different. Yay me. I'm going to get rid of all these split ends. And I am going to get my hair trimmed up where it should be. And I'm so very excited about that. Because I'm tired of looking shaggy. I'm ready to have just, who would have ever thought that that it would seem like such a pleasure just to get a haircut, It's the simple things in life. Diane, we're meeting at, on Saturdays, we meet at 3 o'clock Pacific time. I have no clue what time that is for you, but in Portland, Oregon time, it's 3 o'clock. So if you can figure out what time that is for you on Saturday. What are we doing on Saturday, Brittany? Is it the snowman?
Yes, ma'am.
We're doing the snowman cards, which are just so cute and so much fun. I'll show them to you here in a little bit, Diane, so you can see what we're doing. But once we get these cards done, I always kind of do a preview of what's coming up, and you'll see the snowmen. They're wonderful. Okay, so we got, oops, I'm taking it away too soon because I want to go ahead and glitter my stripes while I've got my glitter out here. So let me just glitter my stripes real quick here. Just an extra little touch, you know? Just a little touch. And we still have a few of our scoreboard kits for our tag class coming up. Up. That was the sound of glitter pouring, if you didn't notice it. It just wasn't pouring when I wanted it to pour. Just a small problem. Oh, 4:34 p.m. Well, that's not too bad. Too bad. Oh, it's 4:34 p.m. now. I get what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I'm sure that for you it's some terribly atrocious time of the night, which makes it extra special that you would sign in and visit with us.
It's 9:30 on Friday.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, that's not bad. Is it 9? Yeah, 9:30 Friday morning. So that's not a too bad a time of the day. So it's going to end up being like an 8:30 Sunday morning for you, right? For our Saturday class. Well, that's still not too bad. At least it's a far enough distance that you're not having to be up at 4 in the morning or some terrible thing. Okay, I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to wait to put my dazzles on until I wipe off the glitter. But let's grab our other card. We can brush off our glitter from it. And we can see how this one turned out. One of the things we've talked about several times with this glitter, and I hope you guys are finding it to be true, I certainly do, the glitter is so extra fine that once we clean it off good, once we brush it off good, you don't have an awful lot of shedding from this glitter. Are you guys finding that to be true too? That you don't get a lot of shedding from this glitter once we wipe it off really good? I still see a few little sparkles here. Strays, we'll get rid of the strays. And here we go. I'm not sure to what degree you can or cannot see my sparkles. I bet you can see that feather though. And then the flowers are way more subtle. But the feather is glorious. That was a great idea, guys, to glitter the feather. Can you see that? I hope you can see that sparkle. That's beautiful. Okay, we'll let that other one sit there for a minute. I'm going to actually dump this since it had some stray fibers from my brush in it. This particular brush is getting older now and it sheds fibers a little bit. Okay. Let's move on to our next one. Well, this one is getting ready to go. Let's see, what do we want to do? Let's do our 4x6. But before we do that, let's tie our bow and get our glue, our best glue ever drying, shall we? Let's get our bow done. Those of you who have taken my bow class will know that we are going to make, I'm actually going to make my bow slightly different than I did on my sample card. This is the bow that we're making, but I'm going to make it ever so slightly different this time. We should have plenty of material to do that. This bow is made on, I think I made that on a 4. So I'm going to start, let's see, how do I want to do this? We should have plenty of ribbon here. Let's start at 4. I'm going to start at 4. Maybe I want to start at 3. I'm going to go to 3. And 3, whatever you do on one side, you have to do on the other. If you haven't taken my bow class, let's get that on the agenda for you, because you will be able to do so many fun things when you've had that bow class. I'm going to go to 4 and 4. Now, one of the things I'm doing a little differently here than I used to do is I have learned that if I don't overlap these, it's easier to keep the loops of my bow separated, because they kind of squish sideways instead of going inside each other quite so badly. So I'm going to go 4, and I'm going to do another 4. Oops, yeah, that's 4 and 4. Now I'm going to go back to 3. So I'm doing 3, 4, 4, 3. I'm going to make a 4-petal bow, 4-loop bow. I'm going to stick my working ribbon down through that hole. We'll see how this turns out. Down through that hole, I'm going to scooch all of my ribbon up onto my tines of the comb, and I'm going to come through from the front. I'm going to tie this in a half knot. This is just the most beautiful color, this ribbon. You guys with your kits, what do you think of the color of the ribbon? Isn't it amazing? I'm going to, as I tie this, I'm going to flip my ribbon so that the back of the ribbon, the darker of the two sides, is facing me. I'm going to pull that tight, then I'm going to pull this off of my comb. I am going to pull my loops out, and we have a really, really lovely bow. Now, I want that to stay there, so I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to tighten the center of my bow. One way I can do that is to put both sides of the bow together, and then I can pull on these strings. That's one good way to tighten the center. The other is I can hold this side firmly in one hand and pull this tail. Then I can hold the other side firmly and pull the opposite tail. Sometimes I have less problem with them sliding together if I just fold it face to face and then pull both strings together. So that can be a good way to tighten that. Okay, so we've got our bow tied. I'm going to cheat a little on the back. I'm going to spread these loops out where I want them to be, and I'm going to put just a little tape to hold my loops where I want them to be, and then I'm going to get my best glue ever drying. So I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to make sure that my loops of my bow are spaced nicely. If I've got one that's a little shorter, this is a good time to take something, put it in the center of that loop and pull it out a little bit more. Often I use my scissors for that. And I'll just put it inside there and just pull just a little bit, make that a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to put just a tiny piece of tape here to hold those loops where I want them to be. Hello, Kelly, Kim, and Katie. Welcome, 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 friends. Good to see you. I am flipping this over. I am spreading the loops on the other side of my bow. I'm going to put a little piece of tape to hold things there. Nobody will ever see it from the front, but it just makes my life easier. There we go. And I'm going to spread this out just a tad. I'm going to put my little piece of tape here. Now I'm not going to worry too much about that paper showing from the front because I can just peel off my paper. And my bow is gorgeous and it's ready to go, but I'm going to get some best glue ever drying on here. So I think I'll go ahead and take my tape off because this is a really little bow. I'm not taking the tape off, I'm just taking the paper off the back of it. It's a really little bow and I want to have room for my glue to go. That's pretty. And I'm going to take my paper off the tape on this side.
Alice wants to know if you like the new tape.
I do like the new tape. I especially like the new tape for things like covering my card. I think the new tape is really good for that. Because it is a little bit wider and you get even more coverage, that way. For things like running tape down the back of a piece of border strip or putting it on the back of a narrow bow, doesn't work real well for that. So I'm still going to hang out primarily with my Hunkydory tape, although I have now realized that company does have a narrower version also, and I think I'm going to order some of that as well so that we kind of have a backup supply. And it's really nice to know that I can get that finger lift tape from more than one company. I'm using my best glue ever. I'm sure most of you know, if you've been watching our videos, this is like one of my go-to products. But I never use very much. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see what I mean by not very much. Now the white here and here, that's my tape, but I put little tiny lines of that glue. Can you see that? It doesn't take much, but it is going to dry into glue dots, so everywhere you see those white dots, that is going to dry into a glue dot for me. I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail off just so it's not in my way. We have a nice piece of that left over. I'm going to set this aside to dry and we can get on with making our other card, but I didn't want to be held up by having that piece waiting on that. Okay, let's go ahead.
Davey, Katie uses you as her muse, it sounds like.
Say what now? Draw your Kim. Let's see, what are we doing?
With Kim.
Kim.
Sounds like Katie
Good to see you too.
has
Katie
you
was
as a
trying
muse.
Cell phone screens on paper, and one screen was YouTube, and you were oh, that's awesome. Katie, you're a gift. I tell you, sweetheart. You are fun. Okay. We're getting our our European A6 card out here. I'm folding that. Now remember that European A6 is a horse of a different color than the A6 US cards. What's commonly referred to as an A6 in the US is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. It's just like our 5 by 7s, but slightly shorter. This one is European A6, and the dimensions of this card are usually, let's measure it to make sure, but they're usually 4 1/8. This is 4 1/8. Yep, 4 1/8. By 5 7/8 US measures. It is equal to 1/4 of a piece of Adorable Scoreable. Okay, I'll tell you what I did here. I wanted this, did I do that? I think I did. Let me look and see if I actually did. Yeah, I think well, it doesn't matter. Sometimes when I have a diagonal like this and I'm using an A4, I will slide over just a little bit to start my card, because then it will come clear down into the corner instead of going off the edge. I don't think, as I'm looking at this, I don't think I did that here. So I'm going to just go ahead and cover this card with this piece of cardstock. I've got my 3 rows of tape. Yes, I will get some of that tape ordered. I did not do it yet, but I thought one of these days when I need something to kind of fill out my order, I'd get some of that wider tape. And I do have quite a bit of it upstairs. We could probably list a few of the wider rolls now, because I have quite a bit of it over there. So if you wanted to put a few of those in, Brittany, we can go ahead and put it in today's newsletter, okay? So you can get to try one of the wider rolls if you want to. What I loved about that tape, and Margie commented on the same thing, is that the paper lifts off the tape more easily on that brand of finger lift
If
tape.
you make a mistake quickly, but you have to do it, if you make the mistake, you have to take it off right away, because you leave it to sit, it still sticks very nicely.
Oh, so she's saying that if you lift your paper, see, I'm talking and not paying attention. I'm going to trim my card a little bit there, or I'm just going to refold it just a tiny bit. I was talking and not paying attention, and I got just a tiny bit of my border showing, but I mostly corrected it there by just refolding down just a little bit on my card. I'm going to do just a tad more.
This would be the perfect example of if we had the wider tape that you could pull it off and put it back together.
Okay. I actually usually recommend that people don't try to take their paper off the tape once we put it down. There we go. See, I just corrected. I had just a tiny bit of white showing at the top of my card. Here's another trick I use sometimes, guys. I grab a hold firmly on the bottom of that card, pull it over. I mean, this only works if you have just the tiniest bit showing. But I will grab a hold of that card, pull it down just a little bit, and reset my fold line there by just pulling it in just a little bit. When I'm talking about taking the paper off the tape, I'm talking about taking the backer paper off the tape, just the peelable tape off the back, or the paper off the back of the tape. But I was able to kind of move my fold line just a little bit. Just a little bit. It only works if there's just the tiniest amount showing, but you can make that work by just grasping it firmly and then resetting the fold line just a little bit. Sometimes that means that you have to straighten up your fold at the bottom just a little bit, but you know, that works pretty good on the tiny lines. Now, I had this here, and I thought, it just doesn't do it for me entirely. You know, it didn't look quite like I wanted it to look. So what I did here was clip this ribbon, which we still had available for use, and I put a piece of ribbon right here on the diagonal, and suddenly this kind of makes sense there. So I'm going to put this ribbon here, and I'm going to add a tag that says thinking of you up on this side, and now I have something that looks like a creation I want. But this diagonal piece makes all the difference, doesn't it? this kind of looks heavy and not quite right. But when I add this ribbon to the side, look what happens. Suddenly it works. It just gave just enough weight to the bottom of that to pull it off. So we're going to go ahead and put this ribbon down. I'll probably glue it, because why not? It's a easy piece to put on. I will want to run my finger down the glue just a little so that I don't. Thank you. Thank you. I lost my, or I tossed my glitter one and found myself without a cleanup cloth. Okay, so I'm going to come here and here. Make sure I get that on so that it's kind of spaced somewhat evenly there. I'm going to clip this off. Put that aside and clip this side off. There we go. And now I'm going to pull this back down just a little, because it was wet when I cut it, so it tried to slide. But I think I like that. I'll go ahead and put some foam squares under this one. And if you didn't have a ribbon that was, the border strip on the sheet, sometimes you can, this doesn't seem to be a good example, but sometimes you can take a piece of this border. If it's a darker color, you could take even a piece of the border off of here and create yourself a border strip to make that work. So I'm going to put my thinking of you here. I think before I put this one actually on, let's go ahead and get some glitter on it. So let's get that done. So let's see, have my glitter paper back here. Get my quickie glue pen back out. And in glittering this one, once again, all I did, feel free to do what you'd like to do. I know you're going to anyway. Isn't it generous of me to permit you to do that? Because you're going to do what you want anyway. We're crafters. We do that. But I just glittered the flowers. It might be nice to add some little touches to the holly. But once again, I'm going to glitter these a little bit. Yes, you are. I recognize you, Andrea, because I'm just the same. If I go to a class that they're doing things their way, I'm looking at that and thinking, no, I think I'm going to go this way. My whole idea is just to suggest things for you, but if you see another way, go forth and conquer, my friends. Because you want it to be yours, So if you see something you'd like to do a little differently, that's a good thing. I love that. And sometimes your creations are so much better than the original. So all I ask is share your ideas. I love it. Share your ideas, friends. Because that's the beauty of working together with friends, isn't it? What one doesn't think of, the next does. Getting that glitter on there so my glue doesn't have time to pool. And it looks like an awful lot of glitter now, but it's not going to look that way when it brushes off. Set this one aside, let that dry. and I'm going to glitter these flowers. Now, I glittered all of them. If you think that's too much, feel free to alter, but I actually glittered all these flowers. I do like the effect of it. You know, I should never say never. You know how I say that I never put heavy glitter on something? You know, that I tend to go lighter and just put touches of glitter. I just finished a Craftiganza set. And is there those? Yeah, they're still sitting here right next to me. As soon as I get this glitter on, I'm going to show you what I did on that particular set. It's out of the winter. And in this particular view, the snow was really heavy in this picture. And I wanted to capture that. I loved the way the snow was kind of heavy in the trees. So I didn't use my quickie glue pen on that one. I actually used my glue bottle. And I got much heavier snow effects, which on that particular card, I really, really like. So I can never say never. I tend to like the quickie glue pen and the fine line glitter. But you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And those heavier snow scenes, it just really wanted a heavier coat of glitter. So I'll show you what I did. Interestingly, though, with this super fine glitter that we're using, it still doesn't look clumpy. It looks like the snow is heavy, but it just doesn't look, it doesn't look out of place. I was really pleased with it. Let me get this on and I'll show you. We are finishing, in fact, I'm sure we will finish the winter kit today, and then all we have left is festive, and we will be done with Craftiganza, and we will get those videos, our downloads, filmed for you. So I'm pretty pleased with the way Christmas is coming along this year. I don't think I've ever finished all the Craftiganza kits, even within the month of September before, let alone by early September. So it helps having Margie here for two reasons. One, Margie's working on some of the kits, and I've told you her creations are fabulous, and I love them, and you'll love some of her creative ideas. And secondly, I tend to work better if somebody's out here with me. It's just true, you know, you spend enough hours crafting by yourself, you kind of get starved for company, and I just do a better job of getting my homework done. It's pretty awful homework, you know, to have to make cards for a living. But when I can craft with friends, I get way more done. So having Margie sit here with me till 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning has helped a lot in getting Craftiganza done early this year. Okay, I'm setting this aside to dry. This is going to go here when we brush it off, and it's going to be beautiful. But I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Let's get, oh, I wanted to show you the glitter.
Now, Bryce says just one. You have to choose one.
Oh, no. Forget Bryce. Okay, you will certainly be able to see the glitter in this one on screen. I put this glitter on using our fine glitter, our regular glitter, and I put it on with my glue bottle. So I hope you can see that it was the snow hanging in the trees that really captured my attention, and it just wanted more than an outline. So can you see that on camera, I hope? Where I put it on with my glue bottle, and it actually kind of, because it went on with my regular Cosmic Shimmer glue instead of my quickie glue pen, it actually is a little bit texturized there. It actually is a little bit raised.
It almost seems like the glitter embedded itself into the glue, so you can.
Yeah, Margie's saying it's like the glitter embedded itself into the glue and kind of built up a little bit more. But it certainly didn't turn out clumpy and gross. It's just But when you run your finger across it, there is a notable difference. So that's kind of fun. And yet, I just ran my finger across all this. There's not, well, I think this was here already. There's not a single sparkle of glitter on my lower finger because it really went into the glue well. Look at this one. This is one of the sets that we'll go through these in detail, the construction of them, when we do the download. This is one of your kits from the download. You're just getting a preview. This is not going to be a class kit. But, yeah. But you can see I actually created what look like footprints behind them. I just kind of did a trail behind the two walkers and then outlined this glitter on the shore here. And then I put pretty heavy glitter up in those trees, but they just turned out just really good. So even though 99% of the time I use my quickie glue pen, sometimes you just have a card that wants, the set wanted heavier glitter there hanging in those trees. And once again, I kind of drew lines behind them with my glue bottles so you can kind of see their footprint trail as they walk along there. So, anyway, yeah, the glitter that we use, Diane, is a microfine. It's very, very fine, clear, iridescent glitter. We do have, yes, puffy stuff. We do have some of the Snow Effect puff. It may not be Puffy Stuff brand, but we have the Cosmic Shimmer brand of the Snow Effects coming in, and that would be most magnificent on this kit as well. Good idea. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it is the Cosmic Shimmer. It's on its way from the distributor right now. We should have it in, I'm going to say within the week. We'll put it in in the What's New Wednesday. And this color ribbon, are you looking it up, Margie?
I'm looking at the snow marker, yeah.
Okay, it is called Puffy Stuff. Can you look up this color ribbon for me?
That's the olive sage, blue sage.
Blue sage. Isn't that magnificent with this?
Now don't go selling it too much, because it's the third time that I'd have to give it up if it sells out.
We have plenty this time. We really, really do. Aren't these beautiful? Look at the way these iridescent ribbons are playing with these kits, guys. I'm using these iridescent ribbons on everything. In fact, Kim, I had promised you early on I was going to recommend some ribbons for use with your kits. When we do the download, I'll tell you what color ribbons that I used in that particular set. But this blue sage, I'm telling you, this has actually been one of my absolute favorites with the snow. Because if it's got green at all, that blue is just gorgeous. Yes, Diane, since you're out of country, let's talk about that after class today. We can arrange to get a shipment to you in Australia, and I'll talk to you about how we do that. We have a few. We don't usually ship internationally, but we do. Oh, Diane, I'm sorry. Yes, Diane, I apologize. I was thinking I was talking to the person from Australia. Yes, we do. We have the tool that I was using to tie the bow. And you saw how easy it is to tie it. It's unbelievably great. I don't have a bow class scheduled right away, but we have the bow tool, and we actually have the bow kit that I've used in the video. And you can get the kit with the bow maker and all the ribbons, and you can follow along and actually go through the video tutorial Yeah, you can go through the video tutorial and you'll be just fine, I think, learning to tie all of these. I would say that the bow that we tied today and this bow here, this is actually a new style that I just kind of discovered when I was playing around. And I will teach you in the last video that we did. It's not in all of our bow tutorials, but if you take the very last class, just get the bow maker kit with a ribbon and you can go right back to the last video that I tied, and I will show you how to, the last video that we filmed, and I will show you how to tie this bow. So there you go. Yes, we sell it. When you go to our website at www.simplyspecialcrafts.com, look at the categories at the very top on the left-hand side. It starts with Brit's Bargains, which is our weekly special that Brittany picks out, and it goes in they're deeply discounted items, which is actually, by the way, where you're going to find the ribbon we were just looking at. This week, it's a Brit's Bargain. That's ending this week. But right under Brit's Bargains, you will find a category that says upcoming video classes, where it says work-along class kits. I think that's what it says. Live stream work-along class kits. And then under that, it says class kits used in prior videos. Go to class kits used in prior videos, the third category down, and you'll see that bow maker kit. Okay? Good questions all. And thank you guys for chiming in on that. These really are, you really can tie these bows when you go through that class. It might take a little practice, but most things in life that are worth doing do take a little bit. Okay, now we are ready to do our final card here. We're going to be using a 5x7 card. We're going to be using this piece of cardstock we have left. We're going to be popping out this saying that says, "May the beauty of the festive season fill your heart with joy." And let's get going on this. We're going to take our 5x7 card. We're going to cover it with this corner. So let's go ahead, get our tape put down. Run that across. I usually put on 3 pieces. Nothing magical about 3. It's just that it kind of holds both borders and the middle. I rub my tape down. I peel my tape off. And this time I'm not going to mess up my fold line like I did the last time. I have to do these things so I can demonstrate the fixes. Wink, wink, nod, nod. You guys know me better than that. Sometimes I just mess up, but at least you get to see what I did to fix it. Oh. Okay, got my cardstock on. Looks good. Flipping it over. Cutting out my card from the back. I just love this technique to cover my cards. It drives me crazy to see people doing all the precise measuring and then trying to line that up so it goes on perfectly. It's so much faster and easier to do this, guys. Okay, I'm going to put my leftover piece of my border up here. So I can put a piece of tape on this. Avoid getting my hands dirty for the second. Not that I ever managed to do that for very long, because I get into my crafting. I am a mess when I craft. I never finish out here that I don't have glitter from head to toe and a royal mess. But I get into my work, and I'm a happy crafter. Glitter all over my face and my hair. So, okay. And our bow that we made is now dry. How you can see my 2 pieces of tape, but everywhere that I put the glue on here is clear now. So you see the tape, that's the shiny part you're seeing. The little white spots of glue are gone. So I think that I will go ahead and put, let's see, let's put our, I'm going to put my tag on first and then fit my bow in over the top of that, I think. So let's go ahead. I could do it in either order I wanted. But let's go ahead and put our little tag on. This doesn't need too many foam squares because it's a small piece. I'm just putting like 5 on here. Just for the sake of a reminder, I will remind you that we have lots of kinds of foam squares. We have lots of weights of foam squares in the store. Hunkydory, we have all the ones that Hunkydory makes. Plus, we have some out there from Hobby Journal that are right in between. We have one from Hobby Journal that's 1.5 millimeters. We have one from Hobby Journal that's 3 millimeters, and then we have 1s and 2s from Hunkydory. So we've got you covered with foam squares. Any size variety you like is going to, I think I'm going to tie a whale tail this time. Why? Just because I can. I'm going to take my, remember when we want to do the whale tail in our ribbon, we fold it like a taco with the fold at the bottom, and then we clip our ribbon. We are using our scissors to cut it at an angle towards the end of the ribbon. And you get a really nice little notch cut out of the ribbon. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to fold my taco. I'm clipping upward towards the outside edge of my ribbon. It's this little ribbon. It's a little more challenging to keep your fold straight. And I'm going to put my bow right up here at the top. This is between having the best glue ever on it and that tape that we put on the loops. This bow is here for the duration. It's staying. It's not going to fall off. I think I'm going to trim this tail just a little further. It looks like one is maybe just a tad longer than the other. I'm not going to take my bow off to do that. I'd have to pry it off at this point. I'm just going to cut another like 1/4 inch off here. There we go. All right, now my bow ties are even. It's time for a little glitter on that. Then we'll brush off and assemble our other 2 cards that the glitter's drying on. By the time we finish, we'll start with that feather. That was an inspired notion to do the feather, guys. So, well, just outlining the feather. I'm doing the center vein of the feather, and I'm putting a few little lines in the feather. I'm going to go ahead and put my glitter on before it has a chance to pool too much. You guys know what I'm talking about with pooling, right? Because the cardstock is glossy, it wants to pool up in little bits where I put my line on instead of staying in the nice fine line, which you can maintain mostly by just glittering often. Put your glue down immediately, go back over it with the glitter so that it doesn't have time to pool up on you because of the glossy cardstock. It will maintain a finer line for you that way. I love this pattern in this paper. Didn't they do a beautiful job with this clock? That old antique clock, these white flowers, the holly, the books, the pen. It's just a perfect design. I love it. It really speaks to me, this one. I went over that one twice. Oh, bless my heart. Let's do this part then.
It'll be nice and shiny.
It's going to be very shiny there. Get a little more down there. And come up here and get these flowers. And I'll reach over and get this one first. So I'm not laying my hand in these flowers once I've done it. There we go. Okay. And there we go. And you guys can see that I don't take the time to be super precise. I'm just kind of outlining it. The lines are not going to show it as much as the glittery finish will. It doesn't have to have a lot of precision. It just needs to get on there in a light line. So you guys can see I work fairly quickly. And again, I try to glitter fairly often so my glue can't pool up too much on me. And I get that glitter on it. I have to brush it off a little bit, but this one's done. Isn't that pretty? I just love this card. You know, sometimes they almost make themselves, guys. You know, you look at the designs and they just almost make themselves.
It's a very pretty piece of artwork.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? Okay. Let's get these out and we can brush this off. My glitter brush out again. I'm going to brush off all my extra.
You're at 5:20.
Okay.
Just
We're
figured
doing
it's
great.
around that time.
We're doing great. Okay, brush off all the extra there. Yeah, my makeup brush is really, it was a cheap brush to begin with, and I've really used it well, so it's shedding, which is one of the reasons why I try to brush my good supply of glitter that I'm going to reuse off first, and then I tend to look and see whether there's any corruption like these bits of my brush before I pour it back in my vial, because I don't want to be messing up my basic supply. And my brush is really shedding at this point. It's doing a good job getting the extra glitter off. It's just that I'll toss the remnants now instead of putting them back in my vial, because I don't want all those pieces of brush in there.
They're talking newsletters.
Oh. Yeah, it will be worth it. I will put a link right on this page, Diana, for signing up for the newsletter. It's worth it to get the newsletter because I'll put a link right on this page, right under this video, when I am doing the newsletter tonight. So you can use that to sign up. I'm having a little trouble with the newsletter sign up on our website for some reason. I think I need to rework that because I've had a few people use the one on the website and it didn't come through. So I'm going to put a newsletter sign up right in the comments below this video for you. And it's worth it to get the newsletter because anytime we have a new video out there, I will send you a notice that we have a new newsletter. And then I will also link you to all the products we talked about as we're going through here, and we are talking about different things. I often will say I'll link you on this and I'll link you on that. Those links are going to be in the newsletter. And it's a very handy way not to have to spend a lot of time looking for something. I'll make it, I will literally drop it in your inbox if you sign up for a newsletter. So it's a great way to go if you're looking for these kinds of products that we're using. I'm putting down my row of 3 of my jewel dazzles here. This could also be rhinestones if I wanted it to be. That's another option. I love the metal gold ones that Hunkydory did. And they came out about the same time as the Midnight Butterflies. We have that in the store. I'll link those too. That's another gem that would be really beautiful on this card instead of the sparkly holographic jewels of the dazzles. Those gold shiny rhinestones would be another really, really nice addition on this card. They're very classy looking. So, can you talk about the download again? Yes, I will. Okay, so we finished this one. We finished this one. We finished this one. The only one we have left to do to finish up is this. Oh, beautiful. Is this card here. So I'm brushing off all of my extra glitter. I'll link those gems so you can see them too. For some cards, they are just perfect. That shiny gold jewel or the shiny silver is just the right touch. This would be one that would really be beautiful with those. Some people tell me they don't like the holographic finish as much. For those of you who don't like the holographic finish as much, I'd recommend those. It's gem something, but I'll link it in the newsletter so that you can look at those. They are marvelous for some of these projects. I use a lot of them.
Gem 203.
Oh, the number of them, just in case you want to look in the meantime, is GEM, GEM 203. Thank you, Brittany. Okay, I'm going to toss this time because, as you can see, I've got corruption of some things that fell out of, some hairs that fell out of my brush. So I'm going to pick all this extra glitter up. I'm just dumping that this time. And I want to put this topper on this card. And we will have finished our 4 cards for today. This is a really straightforward card set, but it's so pretty. And like I said, they just kind of almost make themselves, don't they? They say, you know, place topper here almost. I love it when you can pull a kit out and it just tells you what it wants. Any of the rest of you talk to your crafting supplies? Oh, I do. Can Nouveau brushes be used on glitter to brush off the excess, or will you ruin the brushes? No, you absolutely can use that. That was the wrong statement for me to make. You will not ruin your brushes, and I often use those Nouveau brushes as my glitter brush off Kim. So yes, you absolutely can use them. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right, so I'm going to place this. I want my ribbon to show on both sides, so I'm going to put this right about there. And I think actually on this other one I put my ribbon just a little closer than I did on this one. I don't know if it looks better or worse, but you can decide. Both look good though, I think. Both look good. So we finished this card, and we've talked about using the diagonal ribbon to just kind of create an additional element down in this space. We have made this, oh, this one didn't get brushed off yet. Let me just brush this off. It should have had time to dry by now. That Nouveau, because we're putting it on so light, doesn't take really any time to dry. Yeah, there we go. These look virtually identical. Oh, well, I was going to say they look identical. They would look identical if I had put the last little touch on here, which was the 3 gems in the corner down here. This is just a lot of red not to have something down here. You know, it's a lot of space without any elements, which is why I put the gems on this one. That, and I thought the glitter of the Jewel Dazzles played nicely with the glitter in the flowers. We're going to look at some of our upcoming classes, and we'll talk again about the downloads. But in case anybody is tempted to get away before we get into that, let me just remind you that if you like this class and you like what we're doing, please give me the thumbs up. That's my attaboy. It always makes me feel good. And it also helps us with YouTube, because the more thumbs up we get, the more approval we get from the people who are watching our videos, the more likely they are to recommend our videos out to other people who might join us, other future crafters, you know, other potential crafty friends. So right there under the screen is a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Be sure, if you would please, give me the thumbs up. Let me know that you like what we're doing, and we will continue bringing them to you. Okay, here's our 2 cards. So you can see I tied the bow. Oops, am I too high? Yeah. I tied the bow just a little differently this time than I did last time. I think they're both pretty, but I do think I like the sculpture of this little bow where I tied it at the 3 and 4 instead of all of the loops at the same. They're just very different.
Pleased that you made a smaller bow.
There we go. So, small bows. Both of them are small, but this one's just a little bit more sculptured looking because of the difference in the loops. Mm-hmm. So we've got those. We finished those. We tied our bow together on camera. We have, let's see, we have this one that we worked on together. Now this time I made it full size. Last time it looks like I actually trimmed this down just a little. Sometimes I do that too, in honesty. Sometimes I do that because I don't like the placement of my topper, so I trim a little off the top or the bottom. So that's another one of my fixes, guys. If I don't like them, if I don't like the placement of my topper, maybe I think it's a little high or a little low, then I will compensate and come in and trim either the top or the bottom. So this one's the 5x7. This one's really ends up being a USA 6. It's a 5x6.5 inch card now. Either one's cool. They both look good. And we finished this one, which I think is better than my original. Look here, I did the same thing here. I may have just had some USA 6 I was using up, I'm not sure, but here's the 5x7, here's the USA 6. I like this one better today because we glittered the feather, and I think that really adds something to it. So kudos to you for recommending that. All of our cards for today are done. Now, let's take a look at what's coming up. Betty asked me to talk about the, was it Betty that asked? Somebody asked me to talk about the downloads. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Different places.
Yes, the downloads. It was Betty Gosno. When we did the Craftigans, I decided that we wanted to do 2 or 3 samples out of each of the 4 Craftiganza kits as class kits. And we have been doing that. We have a couple more still to come, and we'll look at those in a minute. But we weren't going to do all of the classes on camera. Now, sometimes in the past, I have done a full class kit, and then I just show the samples. As an example of that, there's the craft stack that's out there on the home page. When you come to our YouTube page, you see where I've just gone through and showed you all the cards I completed and kind of talk you through how I did those. Rather than putting all of those on YouTube this time, I decided that I wanted to reward those customers who bought their kits from us. So instead of just putting them out there for everybody, they're going to be available this time in a download off our website. We'll be filming those videos probably over the coming week. And we will show you all of the cards that we created from the entire kit, including the class cards, actually. And we'll just talk you through all of the cards we completed for the full set. And then once that video is out there and available, it will be available for purchase from our website. But those of you who bought your kits from us, which is most of you, those of you who bought your kits from us are going to get a code in an email from me. And that code is a discount code which will make your download free. You won't have to pay anything for that download. So you'll be getting an email from me as we put those downloads up on the website that say, here's the kit for Christmas Sparkle. Here's your download discount code. Put this discount code in the coupon box as you process your order, and your download is free. Now, for those of you who, for one reason or another, could not get your kits from us, maybe you bought it from another vendor before you knew that we were doing this. Maybe you live out of country and shipping just isn't practical for you. We have a lot of customers in UK who follow our videos. It wouldn't be practical for those guys to come and buy their kit from me in the United States and pay what I have to charge because I have to import those kits. They can get it right there from Hunkydory in country. That would be silly for them to buy it from me. So for them, the downloads are not going to be terribly expensive. I would guess that a download is going to be $5 to $8 per video. And if you were not able to get your kit from us, you will be able to just buy the download. And so it's not going to be terribly expensive. And I'm going to try to do something called a season pass. I have to make sure that my technology will support it. But I'm going to try and do something like a season pass that makes all of the downloads available for one nominal cost. So that's my thought on that. But that's how the downloads are going to work. You're going to actually download them to your phone or to your computer, and then you can just play those back. You will own them. They will be yours. So you will have these card samples right there on your computer. So that's how the downloads are going to work. And so I hope that helps to kind of reiterate what the downloads are going to be. This is our first year doing this. We've got to work through the technology issues, but that's the way I think it's going to go. And subject to change, because we never really know what technology is going to do. But any way we go at it, those of you who got your kits from us, your additional samples are going to be free. So that's the downloads. Let's take a look at what we have coming up in classes. This one probably is going to be just a video rather than a class, because they're really quite simple to make. They don't look like they'd be simple, but they are. These are the spinner cards. This is called Warm Wishes. What's it called? Snow?
Frosty Friends.
Frosty Friends.
And,
And I will link this on the video when we do the video. I'll link it for you today in case you just want to go ahead and get your kits. But these are called Frosty Friends. And I'll put a link to the listing now, but I'm going to put a video out on YouTube that just walks you through the construction of these. This one's sticking a little bit. It's probably had something sitting on top of it. But the little elements run back and forth. A polar bear. Aren't they just the cutest things ever? I could sit and play with this by the hour, by the way. Because I just think they're great fun. And then we have the penguin. So these are just great fun. And this kit makes 4 different designs, and you get 3 of each, I believe. So you get a dozen of these spinner cards. And I will put a link to this kit for you. And that's going to be available in a video soon. As soon as Brittany and I, or Margie and I, film it. This is the snowman cards here are coming up for Saturday. This will be our Saturday class. These are so darn cute. And we're going to use one of those. Isn't that just the cutest thing?
It is cute.
So this is coming up this Saturday. We'll be doing the snowmen. And I want to talk just for a moment. Oh, nope, we got another one to look at here. Next after that, actually, is our gift video that we've talked about. Quite a few of you have gotten this. I think I just have a couple of these kits left, so let me try and keep it brief.
This is
But
next
it's hard.
Thursday, right?
This is going to be next Thursday's class. We're going to make the gift boxes. Your kit will include enough material to make 8 of these gift boxes, and we're going to make these gloriously wonderful Christmas tags. Our thinking here is that these are going to make just really fabulous gifts. You know, people who have birthdays in October, November, December, give them a box of these gift tags. I promise you they're going to love them. It's just a really, really neat way to make some beautiful. These tags are just glorious. They're spot varnished paper, so they're shiny and beautiful. We'll be using a double layer of cardstock, so they're nice and heavy and beautiful. You'll be able to write on the back. We have the cord included in the kits. We can make some beautiful Victorian tags as well. Just pretty, pretty, pretty. And you're going to have enough supplies in your kit to make 8 of these gift boxes. I'll walk you through how to complete the box. We'll be using the Adorable Scoreable, but I will give you some guidance in how to use other scoreboards to accomplish the same thing. Where our boxes with the Adorable Scoreboard are made such that the box top automatically fits fits on the box bottom. We're sending you some 350 GSM paper for the box bottoms. You get 4 different designs in the cardstock. We have beautiful, beautiful components in your kits. We're going to use our leftovers from the construction of the boxes to make some of our tags. And in your kit, I'm giving you 4 different colors of beautiful glitter paper. You get the die for the tree as well as the die for the tags. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And this one's the one that I made both the tag and the box bottom on the same side of my board. Oops. So it fits tight. These tags here, we're going to also have a little mini lesson in using decorative napkins to make some of these projects. I don't know if you can see the glitter on camera, but once I did once I made the tags on the napkins, I glittered these trees, and they are just stunning. And these bits of foliage are glittered, and they too are stunning. So another supply of these. I'm even sending you the decorative napkins, guys. This is a rich, rich kit. And because it is great fun, I'm also sending you some rub-ons to play with the kids. Kids of all ages, by the way. I have to tell you, I had great fun doing these rub-ons all by myself. I had no made them myself. They are just great fun. You have all kinds of colored paper, and I gave you not one. This is all done. All of these tags are done with 1 sheet of rub-ons. I gave you not 1 but 2 sets of these rub-ons in your kit. So I made 17 tags out of mine. I think they would have made 18 tags out of 1 sheet of rub-ons because I found a rub-on I didn't use. And you get 2 of those. I'm going to take a very quick perusal through the kit here because you will not believe what I'm putting in this kit. It's amazing. There are not a lot of these left. If you want one, get it now, because I think as we get closer to the class next week, they're going to be gone. So if you want it, get it now.
And we can't make more.
And we cannot make more because we don't have more of these dies. This die right here was $13. $13 just for this die. Your kit is 32. It's enough to make 8 gifts. And you got some good supplies here. Look at this. $12 or $13 die. It was $12.95. You're getting a full roll of 1/2-inch wide extra sticky tape. You're getting 15 yards of this cord. And you get a total of 5 yards and approximately 5 yards of silver, gold, and iridescent white cord. You're getting a full 6.5-inch paper pad. I have to show you this paper pad because it's extra special. Margie's over here saying, "Say goodnight, Gracie," because I'm
No,
past
I'm
my
not.
time limit,
No,
but
I'm not.
you guys don't care, do you?
We apologize for whoever gets that book.
Yeah, I'm opening your book, but I'm not damaging it, so. Okay.
She cuts it open.
Brittany's yelling at me for opening the book that's going to belong to somebody, but you guys don't care, do you? So I can show it off to everybody? I don't think you'll be too mad at me. Okay, look at this paper. Look at these for gift tags. Is that gorgeous or what? You get 2 each of the patterns. There's that Victorian Santa in the corner and the rose. Each of those will be beautiful gift tags. Let's see what else we have here. We've got, look at these. Now, you could cut your full tags out of these Victorian Santas, or I would be tempted to actually cut these images and little sayings out and use them on different tags. Wouldn't you, Margie?
Yep.
Yeah, Margie agrees. She would want to do it too. And see how some of the tags, I mean, you can see it in the light. Some of them have the spot varnish on them, which means that they have this beautiful glossy finish. Look at that. This is holly paper. We've got some brick background. It's going to be just gorgeous with some of these. I love this holly. Oh my gosh. Look at this holly that's spot varnished. You can get 6 tags out of one sheet of this.
This is one of my more favorite
This is,
Christmas packs.
look at this one with the music. I cut these, and so I included the poinsettia at the top and some of the music underneath. Then I cut some just out of the music and put other designs on top of them. They're so pretty. Oh. There's some wood finish background. Look at these spot varnish stripes. Oh, they're so pretty. This is just a really, if I designed a kit specifically to make a gift tag project, it would probably look just like this, where you've got nice background papers, and look here, there's a whole sheet of spot varnish paper in the green, another one in the green, we've got the tan, more tan. Here's our Victorian Santa images and some of the words that I used on some of the tags. Look at this spot varnished musical notes on the burgundy paper. That kind of damask pattern. This light paper would be a good background. Look at this spot varnish on these green papers. Just beautiful. And then these are all die cut punch outs for your tags. You get all of these, so you got 16 on that sheet. These borders, this is probably the only page in here that we would have to modify if we were going to use some of it. I think you still could use some of it, but you'd probably have to cut these strips down a little bit. But look here. We've got all these die cuts. Some of them are already in the shape of tags. You could use them as they are. I tended to mount all of this paper right onto cardstock because I wanted mine to be a little bit heavier, but they're beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? And look at all these die cut pieces. You get all of this as well. This book was somewhere in the area of $7. You get 3 decorative napkins. You get beautiful poinsettias. Now these fold out. And I'm going to show you how to separate the layers of these quickly and easily, what we learned when we were doing our craft class last fall with decorative napkins. And you get basically 4 panels of each of these. They're just beautiful. 2 full sheets of those rub-ons with 2 rub-on sticks. You get approximately 15 pieces of of different colors of cardstock. Oops, there's some more of it. I wanted you to have ample choices for your glittered trees. Look at all these. There's just a ton of it. You get all of this. And then I wanted you to have lots of choices for your glittered trees. So you get a sheet of green, white, silver, and light blue for your trees. You get 4 different pieces of the Snowfall Mary. 1 piece will make 2 box tops. We're giving you 4, so you get 8 box tops. The 350 GSM weight paper for the box bottoms. We're giving you 4 of those. We're giving you 2 full sheets, 2 sheets of adhesive paper. Must have picked one up. Yeah, 2 sheets of, there it is, of adhesive paper so we can do our napkin project. This is one mighty fine kit, guys. So there's just a few remaining. If you want it, get it now. They will sell out before Thursday. I'm confident of that. So grab it while you can get it if you're interested in doing the gift kits at all. And the really nice thing is you'll have the dies and stuff. Then go through and look at your paper stash. Start looking at your remnants from different projects you've been working on. Make up even more. So this is next Thursday's class. And then finally, extra quick look. We have... This is next Saturday's class, not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday. I saw this topper set for the Rockin' Robin, and he's talking about tweeting and having rocking Christmas. What had to be done, guys? We've sent you the rocking card base, the Rocking Robin, the musical notes. This kid is so cute. Tweet yourself this Christmas. Season's greetings, and the little robin with the musical notes. You get 5 cards out of this one officially. Look at that, isn't that just the cutest thing? We are including a shaker card, and I put musical notes in the shaker. Why? Because it had to be done. It just had to be done, guys. So there we go. 5 cards. And just because I had a beautiful piece of that glorious blue foiled snowfall left, I have another inspiration card for you. So 5 cards plus a inspiration card that you can make if you want to out of this Rockin' Robin kit. That's it. That's it, friends and neighbors. We are rolling up on 2 hours. I tried to make this class an hour and a half, but I'm chatty.
It was
Until I started going through all the new stuff.
You were good. You were good.
Thank you so very much for your time and attention. And Diane, you are more than welcome. I am thrilled to have you with us, and I hope you'll join us often. We will be back here at 3 p.m. on Saturday for the snowman cards. I hope to see you here. And if you haven't done the thumbs up, please do the thumbs up, guys. I see 21 people watching. So come on, guys, give me the thumbs up if you haven't done it already. And we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.